So the other day there was an amazing suggestion in one of the comments on YouTube, and it's not the first time this person has posted an amazing suggestion. I'm sure they know who they are already from the thumbnail, but we'll get to that in a minute. I'll put the comment up on screen in the next shop phase, but for now we're going to do something a little bit unusual, and that's buy strawberry when we have no strawberry pets at all and we're not in Star Pack. But the reasoning behind that will become clear fairly shortly. And here, because we have a 2-attack hatching chick, we managed to save some health on the manatee. Then we actually face Freets, who fresh off a tournament win has the upside down trophy hat, so that was fun to face. But here it is, Crocs are nice, coming through again with another amazing idea. Orca feints can be within the strawberry, toy and trumpet archetypes. Is there a team where even if any of the above are summoned, they can still be useful? So to me, that's really inspiring because it's kind of a thinker. It's not just a lineup, here are 5 pets, go win with it. It's kind of a freestyle suggestion. And I think I'm probably going to do something with that in the future. But for now, I went straight into customs. I built the pack up. I put the pets that I felt I was going to need in there. And Orca is kind of a unique pet in the sense that you don't actually have to put any of the spawns into your pack. Every feint pet in the game is spawnable by Orca. And in fact, I think that number has actually gone up. It's 40 something. I don't remember off the top of my head exactly how many it is. But with the recent update, Platypus became a feint pet, and so Orca can now spawn that as well. But the idea is that we want to have a team which has at least 1 strawberry. So if we get Dove from the Orca, then we'll get some stats. We have to have a toy on board, which is why we have the flying squirrel. And that will mean that if we have pangolin spawned by the Orca, we'll get health. And if we get mandrill, then we'll trigger the toy break, which will give the flying squirrel attack. I did think about having Mosasaurus in the team as well in order to get more benefit from that. But I think in this particular run, the Mosasaurus is just there temporarily. I can't remember exactly, but we'll find out soon enough. However, the mandrill actually will not work unless it's a higher level. So that, to me, meant that I had no choice but to also go flying fish. So we're going to look for flying fish a bit later on. And for now, we'll buff the flying squirrel and the secretary bird since they are likely to stick around. And yeah, we'll freeze potato for secretary bird, and there is the flying fish. So yeah, if we get mandrill, the flying fish can level it up, and that means that it is able to trigger the toy break on the higher tier toys, because Orca is always going to spawn a level 1, and level 1 mandrill can only break the toys from the lemur and the ferret. So we'll take the level here on the manatee, and we don't get the Orca, although I think it's not that big a deal. We are perfectly happy to wait for the Orca later on. We don't need to level it up because it's going to be in the front slot. We just want to get the rest of the team strong enough that it can cope with having a level 1 Orca at the front. Woodpecker, I've been seeing more and more woodpecker with pineapple, and this is a little bit of a strange, you wouldn't normally see this type of team, but because we've got the potato, we actually block the octopus snipe. That's a little bit of a rare situation there. So although we have a level 3 manatee, I think I am willing to sell it now because we have both alpaca and the double flying fish ready. So yeah, you can see I'm a little bit reluctant because it is a lot of stats, but it's only going to last a couple more turns unless I spend gold on the potato. So yeah, it's going to go. We'll use alpaca. The flying fish is a little bit behind the curve because of the fact that I didn't get it early. But you can see here we also have a wildebeest in the pack. So my thinking was, if I have eagle in second position, that means that after the orca has gone or has fainted, we could, and if we generate trumpets as a result of the orca feint, which could be Groundhog, or it could be Nyala, or the other one, Stilt, then the eagle can potentially summon Wildebeest. And if the Stilt, well, it doesn't matter if it's a Nyala, because you're going to get 8 trumpets, which is plenty for the Wildebeest. But if it's level 1 Stilt, the flying fish will level it up, will get extra trumpets, and the Wildebeest can actually activate. Of course, all of that is contingent on getting a particular sequence of summons, and it's probably not going to happen all that frequently. And I did have a decent number of games at this. There will be extra clips at the end as a result of all those games, because this was really fun to work on. But you can see here I deliberately triggered the Secretary Bird in the shop to get some extra scaling. And it's another elephant camel team, funneling stats to a hippo. We get mole plus microbe, which means the mole isn't going to do anything. But it does mean that the hippo gets killed off. Maybe it didn't actually make any difference, but it turned out to be a 1 HP win. And you can see there that we also get the benefit. The fact that the flying fish is leveling up the eagle summon is just helping us stay alive, try and get that the team into a position to win early enough. Although I am actually planning on leveling up the eagle, because what will happen with the orca is we could get a pet in the front slot that then will spawn something else, and therefore the flying fish triggers will be used. So it's better, I think, insurance policy to have the eagle at a higher level. A little bit atypical to see flycatcher, but it wasn't strong enough there. And do I put popcorn on the eagle here? I can't remember. Maybe I'm just going to wait for mushroom. We could take Mosasaurus for another toy break, but we are on 8 trophies, so yeah, okay. We're going to go for Stingray. So actually taking the Stingray there prices us out of Mandrill, because we can only level 2 the Mandrill with a level 2 flying fish, so we can't actually break the toy. However, the synergy will still work if we get Pangolin. And another woodpecker team, just like I was mentioning earlier, and this team just has way too much scaling for us to compete with. Level 3 poodle, yep, that'll do it. So we're about to break the flashlight as well, so it would be nice to find the orca now so that we can get some extra buffs. And there it is, right on cue. Although I guess the plus 6/6 isn't going to make a huge difference on a 4/8 unit. But if it gets above 10 health, that does mean that it can tank 2 mantis shrimp snipes. And there we go, we got the dove, which meant that the flying squirrel got a tiny little buff in battle as a result of having the strawberry. We do knock out both ants and another zombie fly, and it looks like, yeah, it's going to be a tie. But I was very happy to get the dove there. I think I hadn't played that many games at this point. And yeah, here you can see I'm using the potato to tank more snipes from mantis shrimp. Definitely another common pet you see in the late game. And now this is absolutely amazing. Not only do we get the pangolin, so we also get the toy synergy triggering in the battle. But look at this team. Sea urchin with tiger behind and 1-up seagull. And their team name is Seagull Synergy, so I assume that means they're just churning out seagull builds over and over. One of the most fun teams I've seen in Arena of late. So now we're on 9, and really to cap it off, I mean, obviously I would just like to win, but ultimately, what are we still waiting on? We're waiting on a trumpet pet. So it would be really good if we got a trumpet pet in this last fight. And we actually get Vaquita. However, we don't have any trumpets on board already. And that was something that as soon as I played this run, I realized I'd missed something out of the pack. And I'll give you a second to guess what it should have been. And the answer is that I really should have put Cherry in. Because then I could have put Cherry on the orca at the front instead of the potato, And that would have meant that the vaquita would have given me one extra trumpet. But unfortunately, that particular pack did not have the cherry in it, and so I immediately rectified things and went back to work. So here we're on turn 9. We've got the flying fish. We get a tapir as well, so I can pill it and try and get and use it to level something up. Hopefully we don't get flying squirrel. And if we happen to be lucky and find another pill, then we could potentially get some permanent buffs from Secretary Bird as well. Kind of a funny team here with the level 2 moose and the double blowfish. And I think, do we get tapir there from the eagle? I think the Secretary Bird buffs here are just going to be too good for this opponent. Yeah. And I think here maybe I was using toilet paper with the flying squirrel because I wanted to make sure that the toy had a decent benefit in the late game, but also could still be broken by level 2 mandrill. And there's an orca, and we actually get double snapping turtle out of it. It's pretty unusual to see a double like that, and I'm not sure if I've ever had it before. Maybe I have, but I've definitely seen opposing teams have a double, but maybe not myself. So we get a flying fish, which is good. Anything other than flying squirrel was good there. And then we'll take the level on the eagle, and unfortunately 1 gold short for the double pill, but we'll do it next turn. And it is important to have some scaling, but it's not the end of the world. When you have eagle, if you have eagle 1-up, you always have a decent chance. And here we get tapir again, and it copies flying squirrel again, which is a little bit eerie, but the vaquita is not able to generate enough trumpets at the end. So pill mammoth, and then I think I'll just bring in a second eagle for now. We need to be a bit closer to the end, I think, before I bring in the orca. Although, of course, the longer I wait, the less chance I have of getting the pets that I want to generate the 3 different synergies. And I think here, yeah, we'll take the 1-up. 1-up's definitely better than just buying the second eagle. And we don't need 1-up for the orca. All we need is the cherry. And actually here the opposing team has orca. And I've seen quite a few people of late playing Dart Frog plus Tiger. And look at the damage it's doing to the team with the help of the vulture. But we are going to spawn a bunch more units as a result of the eagle spawns. And the saber-tooth summons again, which means that the dart frog has to shoot the ant. And we still end up winning, which, I guess maybe that says something about the strength of dart frog. I didn't notice which level it was. But here, yeah, I was going to freeze the mammoth because I really wanted... the 2 mammoths, I would have liked to double pill them in the same round, but we need to find the cherry and we need to find the orca. And there is the orca on the next roll. But we're all set up for next turn and we still have 3 hearts. So next opponent, and it's T-Rex with double leopard. But we do actually summon a decent amount of stuff. Unfortunately, though, the Secretary Bird that was spawned didn't have enough attack to get the knockout. And then at this point my hard disk ran out of space, so that was pretty unfortunate, but thankfully we have the amazing new replay feature which allowed me to go back into the game and reconstitute the last few turns here. So we get the orca in with the cherry, and now we just want a trumpet pet to spawn. Unfortunately, the first team we face wipes the all the equipment. However, we do get Nyala, and then we get a whole sequence of trumpet pets with the vaquita there as well, and the stonefish. And despite the flying fish being the only survivor of the initial attack, we end up winning there with a whole bevy of trumpet pets. But it would really be nice to see the cherry actually do something here. And we get a scaling team. So it's betta fish, not a trumpet pet. And yeah, we actually end up getting another orca, which spawns a spider, which then spawns the surgeonfish. And I was just so happy to see that, because then the double lemon at the back results in the win. I don't think the health from the surgeonfish actually made any difference, but I was just really happy to be able to get a clip where the activation actually happened in battle. So here are some more bonus clips, and I forget which one this is. I guess we'll find out in a second. But this time I've got Beluga instead of the eagle. And I was mentioning the other day that I'd hardly seen anyone playing this combo with the Egyptian vulture plus lionfish. And this team doesn't have the full comp, like they're still playing it in the old arrangement instead of putting the lionfish at the back. But actually, as a result of the trumpets we got, I think that was from the orca, it ends up being an exact tie, which was really strange. And then there's some fun stuff happens here. So again, we don't have the orca yet, but we do have popcorn on the eagle instead. And the popcorn from the eagle spawns an alpaca, which then levels 3s the orca after the fact. Which I'm not sure I'd ever seen that before. And we just keep getting more and more spawns. There's a very delayed 1 trumpet. But thankfully the rest of the team hung on and we got the win. So then next turn, I think I'm still going to just save the orca here, because we really want to try and pill multiple things in one turn for the secretary bird. And yeah, we don't find a pill in the next roll, so we'll just take the orca now. And then it's elephant blowfish next opponent, and the eagle and popcorn spawns alpaca plus orca again. Now we knew we were automatically losing anyway because it was elephant blowfish, but having back-to-back turns where I got exactly the same pets and saw the same effect that I'd never seen before, that was I kind of did a bit of a double take there. But yeah, as soon as you see elephant blowfish with this lineup, you know you're going to lose. There were some games where I was taking eggplant in second position to try and prevent that happening. But then here's an early game clip, and we're going to see someone make a second appearance, and it's Fritz with his upside down trophy hat. So I always like it when I see people more than once in rapid succession. Sometimes it can be weeks or even months before I'll see them again in the arena. And we keep on rolling. We're just looking for the level ups. It doesn't really matter what happens in the shop here, because it's all about what's going to happen in the next battle. And we'll freeze the stoat. And the next opponent actually has the crown hat. So back-to-back special hats on opponents. I assume that means they won the weekly brawl in the official Discord. But if you happen to know who that person is, let me know in the comments. Maybe it's just one of the top players who's changed their username.